lot of my memories with my dad revolve around food because we both love it, and he has some great recipes. Whenever he gives the word that he's got sausage, gravy, and biscuits on a Saturday morning, the whole family shows up still.
I always wanted to be around my dad. Like whatever he was doing, I needed to be a part of it. I have a lot of memories of just kind of following him around, asking where he was and seeing what he was doing.
I was 15 and I dumped him in the lake, and he lost his glasses, and so I'm not old enough to drive yet, and we have to try and make our way 3 hours home through the Arizona desert like this. That was a comedy of errors.
The instructor told us that there was this cave down in the reef that you could swim under as part of our little dive experience, and we both mistook, like, we both made a mistake. We thought this one hole in this rock was the cave that we were supposed to go through, but it wasn't. It ended up being just this like really tight cavern. We both nearly got stuck there, but we managed to pull each other out.
My dad was one of these dads that would never let me win at anything. Like, if I was going to win, it was going to be because I earned it. And so there were so many evenings where we would play checkers and he would beat me and I would just like cry so much.
My dad was a Boy Scout when he was a kid, so growing up when I was a kid, we would do a lot of those kinds of things together, a lot of outdoorsy things. He likes to go hunting and fishing, and he knows a lot about, you know, how to survive in the woods. It's not something I do for fun now, but I could build a fire in the backyard if I needed to.
He's good at fixing things, and he's good at like thinking of new ways to like solve problems. But you can tell he's a very like pre-internet person, because he'll come in and he'll be like, I've got the greatest idea for fixing such and such a thing. Like, it would be like this, this, and this, and this. And you kind of just want to be like, Dad, like that's definitely already been invented. Like, you should just Google that. You don't have to like make it out of, you know, plywood.
To this day, my dad swears that he invented two things. The stackable washer and dryer unit, and he also says that he was the first person to invent the mobile car wash.
Well, it's not that he's a whiz at everything. I mean, I'm certain that if, you know, if I really put my mind to it, I could think of something that he's probably very terrible at. I can probably actually think of a few things right now. But
My dad was in real estate, and he could negotiate any deal, and he could tell you all about it. Even to his last day, even in 2001, he still wasn't using any technology on his desk at work. When he finally agreed with work to wear a pager, a beeper, he was standing at a urinal one day, and it went off, and it freaked him out so bad that he threw it right in the trash, and he decided never to adopt any technology like that again.
He hasn't learned how to text yet on his phone. I've tried that a couple times, and I just never hear anything back, so.
He's not great at working with computers, but over the years he's gotten a lot better, I think. He's a slow typist.
One thing my dad should never do is go shopping. Every year, every Christmas, my dad would take me out to go shopping for my mom for Christmas. And unlike most dads who just go in and out and get exactly what they need, my dad would sit there and comparison shop. And I remember one year in Target, literally just sitting down in the middle of the electronics aisle in protest. I had to sit in Target because I was so tired of my dad looking at two different phones for like 30 minutes, comparing the different, you know, pros and cons, and just trying to figure out which one was better.
He did, for all his shortcomings in the home improvement area, show me the absolute best tool if you want quality home improvement work done. Plastic.
He always said, you can't push ropes, chains, or people. And I don't know why that makes so much sense to him. It is true, you can't do those things. I just wonder if he was, you know, out in the garage trying to figure out how he could clean up the place, and there were a couple of ropes hanging around and chains, and he couldn't push them.
He walks into a room and he always asks if something is burning. Like, is something burning? Because he's got a very, very acute sense of smell. When us kids got to like the deodorant wearing age, it was always Dad that was like, we need to have a talk.
He would talk about, you know, you want to aim for the center of the target. You don't shoot at the ground, you don't shoot at the air and expect that you're going to hit the center of the target. I think that was his way of saying, do the best, be diligent, shoot for your target and do your best to hit it.
Well, I always tell my parents that if I ever win the lottery or write some Nobel Prize winning book or something, that I'm gonna take my money and buy them a lake house.
I remember Dad had posters in the garage of the Shelby Cobra, and if money was no object, that's that's what I'd get him.
Well, since cost is no object in this question, I would set him up with a membership at St. Andrews Golf Course so he could play there anytime he wanted, and would give him unlimited airfare.
Self-made man.
Hard worker.
Disciplined,
Reliable, he's helpful.
Absolutely 100% selfless.
Integrity.
Devoted to family.
diligent,
Tender. My father's a tender little guy. I am totally a daddy's girl, so that's not an insult at all.
Just good.
He's humble,
Creative.
he's funny,
Innovative.
incredibly generous.
Loves our mom.
Best friend.
Just my dad. Pretty much.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you, Daddy.
Thanks, Dad.